Hello everyone. How are you all doing today? Welcome to another live stream where I am your host. My name is Melody. If you have never met me before, but you probably know me on here as Mystique Awakening. Today on this live stream, we are doing some Reiki healing just for the end of your busy work day to help you relax. And we are going to get into some energy readings. So if you've never been here before on one of these live streams, of course, we send some healing energy to the collective, but we also go in depth and tap into your individual energy to see where you have blockages or stagnant energy. These blockages that you may have in your body can impact you in the way where you're experiencing stress, anxiety, overwhelm. Maybe it's inhibiting you from having a lot of health or harmony when it comes to your relationships or even your physical well-being. So it's all encompassing. Energetic wellness talks about your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. Priscilla, lately I've been having a lot of panic before going to sleep. Don't know how it comes. Priscilla, what are you doing to decompress your stress and anxiety at the end of your day? And what are you doing in the beginning of your day to set your day up for the standard of peace? Brian asks, I have anxiety due to a big upcoming change. Any advice? Get as grounded as you possibly can by being present in your own body and also making sure that you are using the medicine of Mother Earth to help you with that grounding. You cannot meditate your way into grounding. You cannot visualize your way into grounding. In order for you to ground, you have to use the medicine of Mother Earth. So have some skin to earth contact for at least 20 minutes every single day. But if you're experiencing a lot of anxiety, you want to bump that time up to maybe 30 minutes twice a day, in maybe 45 minutes if you're trying to just do it once a day. And when you are having that skin to earth contact, you are envisioning yourself grounding your own roots into Mother Earth and then discharging that energy. Tap into the breath and you will be grounding. If you are not already tapping into your own breath, let's go ahead and take some time to do so together at this time. Go ahead and make sure that your spine is straight all the way from the root to the top of your head or your crown. Take your shoulders, roll them up, back, and down. Separate your teeth to unclench your jaw. Place your tongue on the roof of your mouth and start to inhale through the nose, deep down to the belly. And then exhale from the belly out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. And out through the mouth. Beautiful. Continue breathing at your own pace. Your breath is your spirit, and you never want to be disconnected from your spirit. So remember to tap into the breath to allow all of this beautiful energy to flow to and through you. Okay, Priscilla's answering my question. I start the day doing sports, then go to work for 10 hours or longer. After that, I go to sleep. So, what's going on right now is that you are physically releasing a lot of pent up energy when you're doing your sports at the beginning of the day, but allowing yourself to wind down. I'm not sure what sport you're doing, but if it's a very competitive one and it makes you feel very activated, that's great for waking up. That's great for getting into your body and then charging into your workday. But what I can tell is not happening is that you're not fully decompressing from maybe after your sport time, and then you're not decompressing after your day of work. So when you think about decompressing your energy so that you're not experiencing that much panic or anxiety anymore, you want to make sure that you're decompressing that stress and anxiety from your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies. So you have to adapt your routine a little bit, and after work, ask yourself, how much time do I have to really decompress from those areas before I go to sleep? If you're someone who binge watches TikTok or watches TV, even reads a book before going to bed, sometimes those things are still stimulating the mind. And if you're going into a panic, again, we're not sure exactly where that panic is coming from, which energetic body it's coming from. So you want to make sure that you are creating that space and that time every single day in your routine. 10 hours or longer a day of work is an extreme amount of time to be working. And so if you are beginning your day every day with something very activating, then you're going into work where you again have to be very activated. What are you doing to kind of deactivate that mental stimulus, deactivate the physical stimulus, deactivate your emotions that were arising during those times in sports or during those times where you're dealing with clients or whatever it is that you do for work? And then are you connecting back to your own spirit, or are you getting too far stuck into your human self, your material reality, and you're not connecting enough to that spirit sense of you, that spirit part of you? Those are going to be you during CrossFit. So that's a lot of active movement. So you want to make sure that you're adhering to that. Now, I do have a free Reiki retreat where I go in depth about how to release through all of those areas every single day. So that's going to be an amazing resource and guide for you if you're wanting to attend that. Again, it's a free event for anyone here who wants to join in, happening February 24th. And I talk all about how to release the pent-up energy that you are harnessing from work so that you can have rest and relaxation and feel rejuvenated, so that every single day you have enough stamina to take on the day, but you're also keeping your inner peace, keeping a calm mind. Now, Priscilla, if you're wanting me to tap into your individual energy to see if you have energy blockages that could be creating more panic or more stress, then I can read your energy over this live stream. Just go to the top of my page and get an energy insight report. Audrey, same answer I have for you. That's the same exact answer I have for you. Any sort of panic or anxiety, that's the same thing. Question, can Reiki be helpful for finding a job? Absolutely. If you use Reiki, let's say you're attuned to Reiki, or you go to a practitioner and ask them to send you lots of Reiki for the intention of finding a new job, what the Reiki will do is assess and scan your body, and then it will help you remove or release anything that's keeping you in a state of fear, lack, scarcity, doubt, worry, failure. And when it removes that, you then align your frequency and vibration much easier to that of what your desire is. Belief comes into play a little bit here, just in your belief system that you can attain that job. Reiki itself is not a belief-based practice. It is backed by science, so it will work in that way. But if you have a Reiki session intended for finding a job, but you truly don't believe that you're able to get to that desired reality, you would be blocking the process of that manifestation. What is Reiki not good for? Anyone with pacemakers. Truly, because sending Reiki to those who have pacemakers, Reiki can actually accelerate the heart. And so it's not advised for anyone with a pacemaker to be consenting to or receiving Reiki. Callie says, I will be moving and changing careers soon, but still don't know what that will look like or be. Visualize it. Imagine. I have a webinar that's on YouTube that talks all about rewriting your life story. And when it comes to that webinar, I go in detail about you don't know what your future looks like a lot of the times because you're not creating it. And every single thing that you're able to manifest in the physical form in your external reality all comes from energy first. So use your spiritual energy, use your mental energy to formulate the image, to formulate what it is that your desire could look like, and tap into your heart space and ask yourself, what do I feel like experiencing? What do I feel like is going to fulfill me or make me feel very happy? And when you ask yourself that question or those questions, your mind will start to generate some things for you and then imagine your way. Where people get stuck is that if they don't know where they're going next, if they don't know what career they want to be in, if they don't know what's going to fulfill them, then they lack that imagination. They lack the visualization. They lack the foresight and they lack the bigger picture, and that's actually going to keep you in a state where you are perpetually stuck. Or if you do receive a job or you do move somewhere and maybe it's just not hitting right for you, maybe it's not what you expected it to be, or maybe it's fun for a little bit but it's really just not your vibe anymore. It's not an energetic or aligned match. It's because you weren't inventing it enough. You were born to create, to enjoy, to express yourself, to experience things, and you have to be a conscious part of that. So if you're wanting to know what your future can look like, it's about time that you actually start imagining it for yourself. That's a really great question. Can one do Reiki to themselves, or it has to be someone else? If you are attuned to Reiki energy, then you can definitely send Reiki to yourself. That's what Reiki level 1 is all about. So if you're looking to get attuned to Reiki, then I can help you out with that. I have a link already. That's in the link in my bio. And you can join my Reiki training. But if you are not attuned to Reiki, you will not be sending Reiki energy to yourself. We all do have the capacity to heal ourselves. So you can use your own life force energy to bring healing into your body. But I wouldn't suggest to use your life force energy to heal anyone else. That's where I go into the whole, you have to learn how to protect your energy. You have to learn how to not use your own energy and give it to someone else and then deplete yourself of your own energy. That's why I teach Reiki training, so that when people feel the calling to become healers, they're doing so in a way that's safe for them. Is Reiki related to Kundalini? No, not necessarily. Can you do Reiki to heal from a sickness that won't go away? Yes. My brother recently passed away. I'm handling it okay, but can I utilize Reiki for grief? Great question, and I definitely want to send you my condolences. If you do get a one-on-one session, Jada, you are able to have that practitioner, or if you decide that you want to have me as your practitioner, I will go in and assess every single one of your energy centers. I'll check on your physical body, your emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body, see if there's anything that's out of balance or in a block state right now, and then help balance you out, help give you more peace, help give you more harmony, and that will help your grief. I'll also give you some following steps so that you can maintain the healing that we're doing afterwards, so that you're not just feeling good during the session and then after a couple weeks you're not feeling good anymore. When you work with me, I give you long-term results, but you have to be able to implement what I'm teaching you. Wanda, how do I send you Venmo? It's at Melody Unique, Wanda. If you're looking for an energy insight report, it's at Melody Unique on Venmo, or you can use the link that is in my bio that says live TikTok readings. Oh, that's true, Adriana. You're reminding me. Kundalini is a form of Reiki. It can be a form of Reiki. Great questions, though. Anyone have any questions when it comes to their physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual well-being, things that you may be struggling with right now? What chakra is associated with letting go of the past? That could be, honestly, almost every single one of them. It depends on if your emotions are the ones that are stuck in the past or your mind is the one that's stuck in the past. Typically, your spiritual body is not going to be something that is stuck in the past, but I would pretty much say, unless you're physically, let's say, you're trying to move on from childhood trauma, but you're still living in your childhood home, then that could be a physical factor that always reminds you of it. So in that sense, that physicality of your environment would be holding you back from letting go, so to speak, but typically would be a little bit more of like a mental or emotional thing. And so when it comes to the mind and emotions, we would say the heart or the third eye or even the crown. But typically, if one or more of your energy centers is out of balance, then the rest of them get out of balance as well, because the whole entire thing is a system. So they rely on one another to be in balance. So if you're needing help letting go of something, really ask yourself, are you having a mental or emotional attachment to it? Do you have a belief that is programming you to hold on to that? And are you anchoring yourself into the future by any means of what your life can actually look like once you have let go of whatever thing you are holding on to? Adriana, how do you turn on Reiki healing? If someone is a level 1 or 2 practitioner, then the way that they would turn it on is through specific hand movements and symbols. When you are a Reiki master, your Reiki never really shuts off, so to speak, and so it's continuously flowing. If you perform Reiki on a pregnant woman, does the fetus benefit, or feel the healing effects? Yes. As long as the practitioner isn't doing any extractions, then the woman and the fetus will be okay. I personally never do extractions on anyone who is experiencing pregnancy, but it actually is said in Reiki training that when you are allowing the Reiki energy to flow from you to another recipient, you can actually do the healing directly on the womb so that it can help alleviate any sort of pregnancy symptoms and allow the fetus to grow as it should. So we have about 147 of you on here. What has been your biggest struggle when it comes to your healing journey? Let me know. Let's chat about it. What has been your biggest struggle currently when it comes to your healing journey? And this could be in health, in wealth, or even relationships. So we have inconsistency and confusion. You may need to form a routine. You may need to be held accountable by a mentor. And especially if you're feeling confused, you may need some specific guidance from someone who has been there before you and has gotten to a point of peace and balance in their life. Consistency, sticking to a spiritual practice. I always feel better when I meditate. Yes, you too, Chelsea. You need someone to help keep you accountable. If you guys are not already a part of my free community Aura House, we do hold weekly live streams there where I do keep you extremely accountable. So if you're down for a little love and shove and you kind of like that tough love, then definitely you want to make sure that you are heading into one of my communities, because that's exactly what we do over there. Having the time and energy to stay consistent. Oh, everyone's having issues with staying consistent. You guys need routine. You guys need routine, just like anything. If you want to get abs, if you want to eat healthier, if you want to achieve a certain mental state, then you want to make sure that you're being consistent. And if you're not implementing anything into your routine to help you be consistent, like setting reminders or alarms on your phone or tuning in every single day or every other day into a community that will help support you or guide you, if you're not having a mentor and hiring people to help you with what it is that you're going through, chances are you are going to wind up getting comfortable in your discomfort and have that be something that's normalized and feel very stuck. I actually did just post a video on TikTok, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, that talks about one of the biggest things that my clients say to me as one of their struggles is that they don't have the time for their healing journey. And it's actually not true. Everyone has a time for their healing journey. You're just not using your time correctly or effectively enough. And so if you're wanting the lowdown on that, Shannon, because you're saying that having the time, you just really don't, then I urge you to watch that one video and see if you fall into one of the categories that I talk about there, and help you kind of shift your perspective in a way to see that you do have the time. This is just what you're doing with it instead, and this is what you could be doing. Apprehensive of change, confidence, staying true to myself, lost feeling. Callie, it seems like one or more of your lower 3 chakras are out of balance or in a blocked state, because if you're scared of change, if you're having a lack of confidence, if you are experiencing what is the word that I'm looking for? Like, you're not able to trust yourself and you're not able to follow through on the promises and you're feeling lost in life. A lot of that comes down to you not having your lower 3 energy centers be in a balanced state. So I would really focus on that for you, Callie. The real AG, that seems like a heart space issue. And of course, I'm just giving you some general advice and general guidance. I don't know exactly which one of your centers are out of balance or blocked unless you're allowing me to tap into your energy specifically, which I am able to do for you on this live stream if you would prefer. So you know exactly what's going on with your energy, and then you have the resources to get back on track and realign yourself back to your own soul's purpose. But you have to be able to give me permission to do that. Patience. I nearly died from lung failure and now have a heart condition. I just want to be healthy. So lung and heart, those are both in the chest. So probably a lot of work when it comes to your heart space, your heart chakra. I would say not getting out of my own way. I'm stuck in a victim mentality. Okay. At least you're owning it, Katie. Katie, I think for you, going to the link in my bio and getting the free workshop of rewriting your life story, I'll put it back up. I'll put the link back up after the live stream. I usually take it down when I'm going on live because I have other links I want to put up. But rewriting your life story is something that I have for free on YouTube, and that will definitely help you shift out of that victim mentality so that you can see yourself as the hero of your own story, and then anchor yourself into your desired reality and allow yourself to float all the way there without a lot of effort. How do I unblock all of them? I can't even explain my issues. That's probably another issue. If you would like me to tell you how to unblock all of your chakras, I do have resources for you. So One of the programs that I have available through the top of my page is called Beyond Balance. It's a 4-week self-paced online program where I do offer you some distance Reiki sessions. They're about 20 minutes each video for the physical body, emotional body, mental body, and spiritual body. What's so amazing about that program is that it goes in depth about every single one of your energy centers and what you can do with just your energy alone, not even having to be attuned to Reiki, what you can do to unblock those energy centers, figure out which ones are blocked within yourself in the first place, and then maintain that energy of you feeling healthy, of you feeling re-energized, of you feeling peaceful, and honestly just energetically nourished. It's really, really great for those of you who are also busy professionals. So those of you who are teachers, those of you who are leaders in your field, those of you who are CEOs or business owners, entrepreneurs, it's great for you guys because I know how taxing it can be to serve others in your community and stay on point while also making sure that you have your energy locked in for yourself first. So a lot of you who are suffering from that chronic fatigue or anxiety, the balance or the Beyond Balance program is going to be your holy grail. You guys are having some great questions today. I get good questions in almost all my live streams, but today it's definitely a good one. Problems with sleeping. Again, you have to learn how to decompress that overwhelming energy that you may be harnessing throughout the day or even absorbing by other people. You are just allowing yourself to take their animosity, their jealousy, their negativity, their drama, and you are absorbing it without even knowing it a lot of the times. And that's why protecting your energy is so important and understanding what your own energy feels like, so that when someone else's energy is on you, you can easily just let go of that and release it. But if you're having a problem with sleeping, chances are you have a lot of energy pent up within you and you have to decompress it. And another aspect of that is making sure that you're energy cleansing every single day. When you energy cleanse, you're taking all of that energy that could be latching onto you, so the negativity, the stress, the overwhelm that's being absorbed by other people, and you are clearing it out of your energetic field. The clearer your energetic field is, the stronger it is to protect you better, and the weaker your energetic field is, then you're prone to having a lack of sleep or insomnia, or you are developing sicknesses, illnesses, disease, things like that. Thank you, Andre. I hope that's your name. It just says son of Andre. Falling back into bad cycles when new opportunities or people come into my life. Lily, I know exactly how that can be. Trust me, I've broken so many cycles in my life and gotten myself to a point where I was finally thriving. If you don't know my story, it's kind of a long one, but to just give you very short glimpses, there was a time in my life where I was actually homeless for about 2 months, and I went from that point in my life, not having any money, not having any stability, not energy cleansing myself, not knowing what to do in my life or what was actually going to fulfill me, to a point where now I'm healing millions every single day online, and I am thriving in my career and feel so passionate and so fulfilled in doing so every single day. And so I definitely understand what it is to break certain cycles, whether it comes to your mentality, whether it comes to your emotions, because sometimes we get addicted to emotions. I was someone who was addicted to being sad a lot of the times. I was someone who was addicted to the energy of being anxious as well because I didn't know any better. And when I actually learned what my own energy felt like, how to heal myself and how to release all the energy that I was building up every single day and the trauma that was getting trapped within my being, when I started to do that process, everything in my life really began to shift on every single level, to where now I am so much healthier when it comes to my own well-being, when it comes to my wealth and my career, but also when it comes to my relationships as well. So Lily, for that specifically, I have a Master Your Energy mentorship. It's a one-on-one mentorship where I work on healing you every single week with Reiki energy. Every single month I do card readings for you, but the bulk of it is the Master Your Energy method. And in that method, you learn how to do exactly what I learned how to do through my own personal experience, plus some specific teachings that I learned from my Reiki background and my shamanic apprenticeship background. So it's a 3-month mentorship program, and you sound like someone who would really appreciate that and resonate with that. Everyone, tap back into your breath. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Amazing. I did just see a notification for someone who has an energy reading, so let me go ahead and double check and see what you wrote down for areas of concern. Okay, so we have you here, Jess, and Jess is like, anything that comes up, and she has just a regular energy reading for blockages. Okay, Jess, so I'm gonna have you consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Beautiful. Okay, Jess, for you immediately, I'm seeing an underactive root. I'm seeing a sacral that I'm going to just go ahead and say it's pretty blocked. It does feel a little bit more underactive than a full blockage, but it's getting to that point. So I'm just going to go ahead and say it's on its way to a blockage. The solar plexus is also underactive. I'm not sensing so much in the heart space for you. Throat is also blocked. I'm wondering if you've ever had any sort of energy cleansing before, and if not, that's totally fine, but I'll give you some resources via email so that you can understand how to cleanse yourself energetically and help relieve or release some of these blockages that are stagnant inside of your being, because they can really be impacting you in many different ways. And I'm sensing here that a lot of your dialogue, your inner dialogue, your self-talk is more on the negative side, and it's almost giving you this energy of like defeat, to where your hopes and your dreams, it's like it feels like a fantasy to you. It feels something that's like non-tangible. It feels like something that can't actually be experienced by you. And so I almost even sense a little bit of jealousy coming through as well. And a lot of that has to do with just the words that you're speaking to yourself and the words that you're using to talk about who you are, how, it's almost like I keep hearing like, you failed at this before, so like, why would you think that you can get that? Like, you've done this before and it didn't work out. I just have like a discouraging and like almost demeaning kind of inner dialogue for you from what I'm hearing right now. So for you too, I think it'd be best to tap into that webinar that I have that's rewriting your life's story, because when you're able to do that and take a look at every single event that happened to you in your past and rewrite that story from the point of view of a more mature, awakened, mindful you, a more wise you, when you are taking this vantage point and then rewriting that story, you'll start to see all of the belief systems that you've been having that are just kind of lingering in the background and creating more momentum for the things that you don't even want. And when you're able to do that for yourself, it helps you create a different identity. Now, we all have our one main identity, which is just us being in alignment to our own spirit. That's what it means to be a conscious being. When you're tapping into the truth of who you are, you're tapping into your higher self energy or source energy, creator energy. And so when you're able to do that, that's going to make you feel the most powerful, the most fulfilled. It's going to open up possibilities for you. But if you are associating with an identity that is of failure, failure, if you're associating with an identity that has a lack of confidence or is disempowered by any means, it's going to act as a weight on you where it's going to be harder for you to move forward and get into a different reality and have a different experience. You will just continue to manifest more of what you don't want. So it's very important that you're using your words and your throat space to be able to project you into a future that you rather experience, and creating a bit of a different identity can help you do that, but you just have to know how. And if you don't know how, again, that resource of rewriting your life story is going to be one of the best for you, because we get down to the nitty-gritty. I don't play around when it comes to healing. I like to show up here on live streams, very nice for like the general public, but for the people who are actually investing their time and working with me, even through a free webinar, I don't mess around and I get to the bottom of it so that you can experience the most effective amount of healing in a shortened period of time, because I don't believe that healing has to be something that takes a very long time. If you have the right resources, if you have the right guidance, if you have the right mentor, you can get to what your goals are at a quicker pace with a lot less confusion. So for right now, that's what your spirit guides are letting me know as your blockages. I'm going to give you the list of these blockages in your email after this live stream to, again, just give you a refresher, help you out so that you know exactly where to pinpoint. But something that could also be very beneficial for you if you're ready to move into a program is going to be Beyond Balance. And that's just because I created it specifically for those of you who are dealing with energy blockages. So for you, Jess, that is my recommendation. If you have any other questions, please let me know in the email that I send you afterwards. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and close out of your energy. Thanks so much for allowing me to tap into it in the first place. Beautiful. Kiara, I sent mine through Venmo. Okay, perfect. Give me 1 second to log in here. If anyone else sent theirs through Venmo as well, let me know. I'm going to pop up my Venmo site real quick. Okay, Kiara, I see you here. Beautiful. Sorry I didn't get the notification on my phone. I would have gotten to you much earlier. Okay, Kiara, so let's go ahead and tap into your energy. Go ahead and consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Very first thing that I see is green. So green right now, your heart space is honestly in a very interesting energetic space. I'm not sure if you have been working a lot on your emotional body, specifically when it comes to romantic partnerships. Like, I'm not sure if you did a cord cutting ritual for someone, like an ex, or I don't feel that you're actively going through a breakup or have even gone through one recently, but I do see like a healed version of your heart space, and I also see a heart space that's still like lingering with some things in it. So I won't say that it's blocked by any means, maybe if anything a little bit underactive, but I see how much you're actually working and focusing on that heart space. So that could be you working on your heart space through meditation or visualization. That could be you just tapping into your heart space even more by allowing yourself to actually feel your feelings and be honest about what your feelings are. Maybe you're journaling. I don't know what your process is, but I see that it is working. And what I almost sense in your heart space is it's kind of evolving, which is great. And so that's why I almost sense a little bit of you healing like past heartache, specifically when it comes to romantic partners, because what's going on, maybe you even have a new love interest and maybe they're helping you with this process as well of healing. But every single time there's a heartbreak, you also have to remember that it's a heart opening and it's a heart evolving. It's almost like a lotus flower that is blossoming. And so whenever someone comes to me and they're like, my heart is broken, I'm like, your heart is just evolving. Your heart is just opening back up. Your heart is expanding into something bigger and greater. And so I almost sense that same thing for you as well. What I do recommend though is making sure that you are infusing a lot of beautiful, healing, happiness, blissful, spontaneous kind of energy in your daily routine as well. Because if you are actively healing yourself and you're working on releasing, what are you doing? doing to actually infuse energy back into that space? Because what happens is if you release all the time when it comes to healing and you're never infusing it with things that you prefer, like happiness, joy, or positivity, it will start to fill up with the same things that it recognizes. It'll start to take, oh, I remember what fear feels like and it's not here anymore, so let me go find it. And you will start subconsciously and involuntarily really absorbing all of the negativity or fear or doubt or worry back into the heart space. So you really want to make sure that if you are going through a lot of emotional releases or you're doing a lot of healing on yourself, that you are infusing that energy back into your being. And you're like, I have, good that we have a confirmation there. So heart space, it's looking much better, but I would still say it's in a bit of an underactive state. Infusing it and activating with the happiness and positivity, game changer for you. Sacral, okay, sacral makes sense for you. Sacral is feeling underactive. It's a little bit weakened. If you've not been doing any sort of cleansing for the sacral and you are working on the heart space, your sacral is actually the next center of your being that holds on to a lot of emotion. So what I'm sensing here, I'm not sure if you've been like gaining a lot of weight lately. I don't know what it really has to do with it, but it does make sense. When you have emotions that are stagnant anywhere in your being, sometimes that could result in gaining weight. And a lot of the times I see that in the solar plexus area, but the sacral is not far below. I mean, it's literally right below it. So if you're having like that lower belly area, kind of have just more weight to it and you're like, what's going on? It could just honestly be that it's time to release a lot more emotional energy in that space. And so there's a couple different ways that you can release energy from your hips and from the sacral. You can literally do hip opening stretches and allow yourself to breathe into that area and then exhale from that area. You can just rub your hands together, blow on them 3 times and send your own healing energy into those areas, making sure that you're placing them both on your ovaries. If you have not done a cord cutting ritual to sever the ties, the karmic ties that you have between you and someone else that you've been physically intimate with, now's probably the time to do so. If you don't know how to do one, let me know, and then I can potentially offer that service to you as well, unless you want to go and do it by yourself. But I love doing those after a breakup, or even if it's just not something that is like a big breakup or anything like that. If you just feel like you're always tied to this one way of being in relationships, whether it's romantic or platonic, you can sever that tie as well and get all of your energy back to you and all of the energy back to them, and then start anew and have a fresh cycle. So definitely the heart space underactive, but just by a little bit. The sacral very underactive. Let me see. The root is also underactive, so make sure that you're grounding. If you have already been grounding, add on more time to your grounding. Grounding is skin to earth contact. I say it in every single lesson that I give, every single client, every single student, because it is one of the most important things that we have to be doing. And if you're not doing that in your healing practices, then it's time that you start. But if you're only doing a little bit of grounding every other day, try to bump it up to every single day and bump up the time that you're doing that. 4, I can tell that you may also be trying to strengthen your intuition and allow yourself to receive clearer messages and more reliable messages from your spiritual team. You may be trying to do so through meditation, or maybe you are trying to script, or maybe you're trying to connect to them in your dream state. But here's what happens when you're trying to activate those energy centers without first working on your lower centers. What happens is, first, you may just reach a cap, or you're just not able to get those messages that you're looking for. But 2, when you do try to reach those higher levels, but you're energetically not ready for them, you can actually inspire a lot of anxiety and a lot of fear into your experience. And that's why sometimes people who have a lot of these spiritual gifts, they see very like dark things that scare them. A lot of the times it's because they are not focusing on clearing their own fear and doubt and worry first. So as above, so below. You want to make sure that you're working on the root first and your 3 lower centers that connect you to the physical plane. So really do some work on your fears, really do some work on grounding, really do some work that's like shadow work to see if there's anything that's still lingering, keeping you in a state of feeling scared or doubtful or worried. Let me see if there's anything else. No, but I can tell that your crown and your third eye are getting into a state of being overactive because you're putting so much mental energy in there and you're not doing that bottom work. So make sure that you are doing that as well. Again, for you, Kiara, one of the best suggestions that I have for you at this time, if that is what you're looking for, to help clear out some of the past trauma, old emotional wounds, but make sure that you're also connecting to your spirit and you have sharp intuition so you can navigate life easier. All of that can be found in my Beyond Balance program at the top of my page, and it's going to be a game changer for you. You're really going to enjoy it. But that's all that I'm sensing for you at this time. Thanks so much for signing up for an energy reading. What I forgot to mention for everyone as well is that anyone who signs up for an energy reading does have a chance to win a free one-on-one Reiki session with me. So if you're looking to have healing done by me for a full hour, we can deep dive into what's going on with you and where you're trying to go and get you to that place as soon as possible, then make sure that you are entering for a chance to win. So Kiara, you have one entry in so far, and I will announce the winner February 24th in my Reiki retreat. So thank you so much for allowing me to tap into your energy. I'm going to go ahead and close you out. Kiara, this is insane. You're capturing everything I've experienced. Yep, I know it. I know it. Kiara, how do I infuse for the heart? You said to add positivity or things like that. Simply do things that you enjoy. Tap into your inner child, see what your inner child likes to do. If it's jump rope, if it's hula hooping, if it's coloring, if it's painting, if it's dancing, if it's being silly, if it's playing dress up, like whatever it is that your inner child likes, they're so good at letting you know exactly what it is to find more joy and creativity and spontaneity in your day. Can you send me the info for the sacral with you that you said you like to do? Yeah, the cord cutting, absolutely. If I always go back into these replays and then I like submit, so I'll make sure that I send that to you. And then Courtney, I knew that you were going to come up on here, and so I was waiting actually for you. I think you got the telepathic message, but Courtney, we can do your energy reading right now. So I'm going to go ahead. Did I already close you out? I'm not sure if I closed you out, Kiara, but just in case, I'm going to close you out. And then Courtney, let's go ahead and do your energy reading and see if we have any differences from the last time that we did it. So excited to see. Let's go ahead and tap in. So consent out loud in your head or even in the chat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Okay, let's see what's going on. First thing that I'm seeing for you, Courtney, is a blocked crown. I'm wondering why that is. And it's not to say that you're not still perceiving your intuition and things like that or receiving messages. I do still sense that your third eye is actually in a balanced state, but there's something going on with your crown. So give me a second. I'll tap into that a little bit more for you in just a moment, but let's see what's going on with the throat. Throat is impacted in some sort of way. So let's see. It's getting to a block state, but I would say it's a little bit underactive at this time. So we'll see what's going on. Heart space could use some releasing, but I'm not going to say that it's overactive, underactive, or blocked right now. It just could use a little bit more releasing, but that's normal. Your heart, everyone's heart is pretty much going to go through a lot of releasing. I sense something's actually surfacing up, and it's giving kind of like, not necessarily anxiety, but it's almost kind of giving shortness of breath. So making sure that you are infusing a lot more breath into your day is going to help you not only get centered back into a conscious state of being and back into your own spirit self, but it's activating the lungs, it's activating the chest, activating the heart space. And so I know that you're already following everything that we have in Aura House and whatever it is that I'm mentoring you on. But just having a simple time of some breath work in between very strenuous times of your day. So let's say that you went through something very strenuous in your day and now you're trying to transition into something else. Save some time in between that transition and allow yourself to breathe and like settle into the next thing that you're doing instead of just being productive, if that makes sense. Solar plexus feels good. So we like to see that. Sacral's also feeling pretty good. A little bit more movement of the hips. If you're not incorporating movement into your routine, I know that you do hula hoop And I know that hula hoop requires your hips. So I'm wondering what's going on there, but just more. It seems more like a bit of an activation, if you will. So really tapping into dancing, really tapping into just like honestly getting your groove on, allowing yourself to flow in different ways that maybe your body hasn't flowed before. So if you are heavy on the hula hoop, are there any other movement practices that you could be doing to tap into your body in a different way, tap into your hips in a different way? It may be time to kind of change up the physical movement that you're doing, not to get rid of hula hooping, but to also just make sure that you are having a variety of things, just because the sacral is the area for creativity, spontaneity, and inspiration. And it's water energy, but it reminds me of like fast moving water. So things that you can do to really get into that flow in the sacral. And the root is looking pretty good too. And I'm very proud of you for that, because having a balanced root is not the easiest thing. Continue your grounding because it is working. So that's what I have to say for you, Courtney. The biggest things were like kind of like the heart a little bit, the throat, and then that blocked crown. Let's see what's going on with the blocked crown. I think what it could be is that at this time you may be first, very spiritually confident is what I'm getting, and I love that for you. But with spiritual confidence, it means that you don't have to go up that much. Technically, how it flows is down. Think about the gravity here. So you don't have to reach up for answers. You don't have to reach up when you're praying. You don't have to reach up to set intentions. You don't have to reach up for anything. Allow the crown to function naturally and allow that energy to come down naturally. There is a bit of a cycle that happens where it does go up and down. So energetically speaking, like when we're grounding, right? I say that the energy comes up, but you can also discharge that energy down. So imagine the energy coming up through the left side of your body and then coming down through the right side of your body. And that's how the energy flows, right? And that's why when your energetic system is blocked or something's out of balance, the energy does not flow properly. But right now what I'm seeing is that you're like forcefully putting way too much energy up there. And it's definitely time to make sure that you are allowing that to just come to you naturally. You don't have to force your intuition. You don't have to force your connection. Allow it to come down naturally. Sometimes as beginners, that's just what we do, and that's just how we find it easier to connect, but we don't have to strive so hard, especially you right now. If I were teaching someone new, I may kind of teach them a little bit to focus on the third eye or focus on the crown, but only after they go far enough low, only after they've worked on their fears, their doubts, their worries, their the shadow work essentially. But for you, you're very spiritually inclined right now. So allow yourself to get more into the receiving mode instead of like holding on to that masculine energy of like give, or like seek. Allow the answers, allow the intuition, allow the messages to come to you very naturally by just being. And when you're present, and again, when you're doing a practice like grounding, all of that energy is going to come to you and you don't have to strive for it anymore. What happens to a lot spiritually is that we get it, like not addicted, but let me just say addicted to the high of like reaching for that answer and like getting that answer. And we're like, yes, that's amazing. But like maybe it's time for you to dive into a divination practice. Maybe it's time for you, like if you really like to hone in on your craft intuitively, then maybe use a pendulum, maybe use some tarot or oracle cards, get into runes if you like runes, something where you're able to kind of connect to spirit in a way where it doesn't have to just be through meditation. But again, have it come through a very natural way so that you're not like putting too much emphasis here and allowing that to overwhelm your crown, because that's what I'm seeing. The blockage doesn't really seem anything more than you just trying to reach up so much for those answers when naturally they're going to come to you anyway. You're like 100% thought this today. Okay, coming into receiving mode. Come into the receiving mode. Come into the receiving mode. I think this is why I was too into my spiritual body. Yeah, we can be. And that's why it's so important to make sure that we are spirit, but we are matter. So we have to be the bridge between both of those worlds and allow ourselves to have balance and harmony within both of those. Because if we're too far up into our spiritual side, we're going to lose sight of our physicality here. We're going to lose sight of reality, so to speak, and then things can get just a little bit it doesn't really work out for us, if that makes sense. Like if you're trying to manifest something in the physical realm, but you're way too far up here, it's not going to physically manifest because you don't have the action taking, or you don't have like the physical systems to have that come into your reality, so to speak. If you're too far into the human, tangible, physical world, you don't have enough of that spiritual, mental energy to actually formulate the vision, to actually have the foresight, to actually create it in an ethereal or energetic realm first, for then it to come down into the physical plane. But that's all I'm seeing for you, Courtney. So good job with your energy. Honestly, it seems really, really good so far. So I'm very proud of you, because I know that you put in hard work every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and close you out. Thank you for allowing me to tap into your energy again. And of course, you're going to get an entry for a one-on-one Reiki session with me. Okay, let's see. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good, good, good. Okay, I'm going to just read any other questions that you might have. And before, I definitely heard I was too into giving masculine energy. Yeah, I always work. Yeah. No, I feel you. Tap into the divine feminine. The divine feminine sits back. She relaxes. And trust me, I get it, because I'm someone who has, I feel, functioned in my masculine energy personally for a very long time. And so sometimes when I have to tell myself to just like sit back into my feminine, I'm like, no. Like it feels freaking awful. And it doesn't, because when you actually sit into it and get comfortable in the energy that is also very innate and organic within you, it starts to feel good. But when you're far too one way and you're not bringing balance into the other aspect of you, it starts to show up. It starts to show up within you physically. It starts to show up as specific ailments. A lot of the times, if you're way too much in your masculine, you'll actually start to develop symptoms in the right side of your body. If you're too far into your feminine, sometimes you'll also experience that kind of fatigue on the left side of your body as well. So everything is connected. But all right, you guys, this was such a beautiful live stream today. If you have any questions for me about any one of my mentorship programs, so that you can release the chronic stress, fatigue, and anxiety from your body and become a force of nature in all of your endeavors while maintaining inner peace, that's going to be Beyond Balance. If you're looking to break unhealthy cycles and patterns in life when it comes to your health, your wealth, and your relationships, then that is going to be the Master Your Energy mentorship. And of course, I do have my free Reiki retreat happening at the end of this month on February 24th for anyone who is looking to relieve themselves from work-related stress and anxiety. That's going to be an amazing event for you to tune into and get an upgrade, because upgrades mean that you may get a personal treatment in the actual live, and you will get a chance to win a free one-on-one Reiki session with me. I love you guys very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.